1980, good luck. Let's play the normal carol that we've not played before, no head-to-head score. D5 takes, so we'll take back and then we'll guard the pawn. Burn it rather fast for a rapid game. Is this real? Bullet moves in a rapid game don't tend to go too well together. Let's just develop and prepare to castle. Okay, I will challenge that bishop. Queen comes down. Guess we just castle there. Okay, so we'll take there. Prepare. Wait, did the clock just jump there? Something happened there. I'll check the recording after the game, but yeah. I thought I saw something happen there. I hope I'm wrong, I hope I'm wrong. Okay, let's just try and gain a little bit of space here. Now I'm going to bring the knight across and try and challenge for the centre. Okay, now I'll bring the knight into the centre. If he takes, I've got obviously a choice. Now if I go here, he's got a backward pawn, and that gives us a target. So as a principle, that should be good. It connects him in the centre, but it's a backward pawn. So rook across. He can obviously guard. But even if he pushes forward, we take. He's still got the isolated pawn. I think that should be good to take. Develop the rook. Yeah, he's using no time at all. It's a little bit unusual, this one. You'd expect a move like rook across. Bishop up. He's probably going to trade. Probably be fine for him to do that. He's moved the other rook, so it's the same thing. If we play rook forward, you can go back and charge it, so we don't want to do that. So I'm just looking at bishop up. I could go here and charge this one, but if I go here, knight takes, queen takes, say he pushes, I think we're fine just to take. And it gives us the opposite bishop versus knight, doesn't it? Let's do it and see if he takes. He could just move his rook out the way or forward. That's indeed what he's actually done. So I guess now I do come in and just look for that trade of the bishop then. So he can always force this through. We can just trade things off and it's still an isolated pawn to target. That's what I'm working on. There might be a bit of a problem here, of course, but let's just see how it pans out. So he's played knight forward. I'm going to get rid of that bishop. Now what do I do? I've got knight back to maybe challenge here. Knight back down. Knight takes, pawn takes, rook takes, queen takes, queen up. Guard our pawn. He'll activate his rook. We'll play across. We'll target this. It all seems fairly pleasant, that actually. I'm just trying to make sure I'm not blundering something. I can't see how I can gain an advantage, so it's like we're just trying to keep an equalized position if we can. There's one target there, but it's not easy to work, is it? If we get the knight in, it secures a position. Maybe you can just blast through this center instead. But at least we go here, we challenge the knight. Yeah, he's gone there, so he's invited us in, so we're going to have to do it. So he won't take the queen. He could take with a knight. Rook takes, and it feels solid, but it's whether we can then stop this. But we are threatening to just take the knight right now, as well as the pawn. If he takes, could we even take with a pawn? I guess we consider it. He has taken, but surely the rook must be the right move. If we go with a rook, we put a clamp down. Ideally queen up and rook behind. That's the kind of gist. It's got to be the right move, I think. He can still do this, but we'll just leave the pawn there and take back. Or we can take here if he doesn't get behind to support. So here, I like the idea of queen up just to directly hit this pawn, because we're just trying to really double our rooks up. That's the main intention there. We guard this pawn as a bonus, but we're just trying to double our rooks up and pressure the pawn. And at some point, if we can, maybe triple stack. Excuse me. I'll get the cursor off the board so there's no accidental mouse slips. It does happen. Oh, he's played queen forward and offered a trade. So I've got a chance to grab a pawn. If he comes down, takes, I can still double up, right? It's got to be right to try, I think. I'm going to grab the pawn, but now I can't go back to where it was. There's no immediate rook lift to attack the queen, though. If I can just double the rooks up, there's then a triple attack here. If he pushes down, I can take, and then I can come back, and that should be good for us, surely. I think I just take there, and now I can come back, or I can double the rooks first. So does it matter? Possibly. Yeah, I think a queen trade would be good now. We've gained a valuable pawn, so I'll drop the queen back and I'll try and triple stack. I don't want to lose this pawn if I can help it. It might still be just a draw with correct play, of course it might, but yeah, I think I'll drop back here as well. So we don't want to give up that pawn if we can help it. He has got a couple of squares if he wants them, so let's now triple stack, and then maybe queen across, and we can triple attack the pawn and still guard this one. At some point we might be able to march forward. It's not easy to see quite how we do that just yet, but equally, if you could magically pick up a rook and put it here, there's a lot of pressure coming. Oh, he's gone across. But now I've got queen over. Queen over, we triple attack the pawn. He's got queen back here, but then can I just start marching? I've got queen up here, he takes. Check, he goes back and I don't gain anything. Maybe I just push this pawn now then, because he can't take. So what's wrong with that? Do I need my queen behind my rook first before I do this? Take, take, take. I'm going to do it. I think it's a move, so I'm going to do it. He can't take now, I just take the rook. So he's moved his rook, so he's going for some counterplay. So if I just take and he takes here, I can't actually get behind to guard that, can I? So rook across, lose a pawn, gain a queen, lose a queen, gain a rook. So rook across is actually a move. I could just go simple and just simply take here. Then he takes, and I could maybe take, 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 2 rooks for the queen. That should actually be quite good for us. If I push on, he takes, he gets tempo. I don't like that, but take here. If he takes here, I can gain a rook, lose a queen, gain a queen. My 2 rooks are here and my pawn's here, and then I can just play a rook up the following move and guard my pawn. Probably a draw, isn't it? Probably a draw. Rook behind, what does he do? Maybe he drops back, we push. And he still can't take, but it's hard to make progress. I think I should take. I might go for the gamble, the 2 rooks for the queen. But if he takes, I could just take here. Potentially, but we'll have to just see what he does and then calculate it. If he takes here though, that's likely the option to take, take. Yeah, he has gone for it. So I assume I just take, take, take here. Then I can definitely guard this pawn. There's no trick to get my queen out of the way, so I'm just going to take and take. Now I've just got to guard the pawn. Ideally you'd be behind the pawn so you can push, but he's got to keep my rooks connected. But I've got rook here, so worst case I can do that. But he has actually let me get behind the pawn. He might have made a mistake there. Here, here, up. I've just got to be real careful if I disconnect my rooks. But if I keep one of them at the back, do I gamble and go for it? So here, queen down, I just come behind again. I'm going to go for it, I think. I'm going to try and keep his queen tied down to guard. But as long as I don't blunder some check, which I might well do, I've done that before. We all know that feeling. Then I lose a rook and I lose the game, but worst case, I can just keep the rooks here behind the pawn and just shuffle the king, and it should be a draw. Worst case, I would hope, but you never know. He might just march forward and find a way to blast through if I go too passive. I'll just click my little heater back on there, just turn itself on. But you can see I'm simply threatening to push the pawn, so he's trying to see if he can challenge my rooks effectively, or he has to go behind. He's chosen to go behind. So rook up is the obvious move. Now, does he have an actual good response to that? Maybe he simply just drops back one square. And there's no way to easily make progress, is there? So do I maybe do something like this and try and open the file to the king up? I'm down on the clock, aren't I? I'm going to push the pawn here. So I can just double my rooks up any time and just keep guarding. As long as I don't blunder something where I just lose my concentration and I blunder something, then I can double up. Yeah, we want this king in the open, but got to be careful about how we do it. But here, I think he just drops back one square. If I come back, he just comes back and hits the rook. I want to push here as well, but there's no easy way through, is there? Let's go here. I think he just drops back one, so he knows the technique. So I'll drop back and then he just come back again. So I think a repetition is probably the best I can do here. I don't think there's a way to win this now. So here, he can't take with a pawn actually. Here now he'd have to take with a king. If he goes with a pawn as a check. So here king takes, does it flush him out? Check, here. It doesn't, does it? Here king takes, check, here, check. If he goes back here, it would be mate, so he has to go here. Check. If he runs, check. If he goes here, there's a check. I'm going to risk it for a move just because it gives him a chance to blunder. He has to take with a king. Then I think I might have to just lock it down and go for the draw. Oh, he's blundered. He just hasn't paid attention. He's blundered it. That's why I played the move. Oh, he's got 2 minutes up on the clock and he's just not paid attention. That's the only reason I played that move. Oh, wow. How lucky is that? That's why I played the move. Just give him a chance to blunder, and he did. He's up 2 minutes on the clock. He didn't use his time. Very, very lucky there. Let's just see what it was in engine speak. So we pause so we don't accidentally start another game. We had 42 moves. My opponent was playing it silly fast out of the opening. It's a rapid game. Just playing silly fast there. But he got a good position, to be fair. Could be someone who's just a naturally quick player. And it must have been level at the end, barring that blunder. Surely it was essentially level with correct play, I'm guessing, but we'll just find out now. You know, maybe in engine speak there's a way to just play on forever and maybe march my king over to get to where the pawn is or something. Yeah, I am better actually, aren't I? I am better. It is actually winning for me with correct play. It's just difficult to see how you make progress. Maybe the idea is you have to sack all these pawns and put your king over to guard this one and keep your rooks connected. Yeah, 91 versus 84 accuracy. We'll get a little bit out of the opening. We've gone back to level by move 23 and then we're better. So let's have a flick through there. So you can see the opening is not flagged anything from either of us, so we've both played the opening well. So not too much look at here, just getting developed, get our king safe, trying to gain a bit of space. So here, opponent should have actually taken the knight. I would have taken back with the knight. Now here, instead of bishop up, I should have played queen a5 to put pressure on the pawn. I didn't actually see that move. That would be a triple attack, wouldn't it? So I should have played queen across. He has to play c4. B takes c4. Rook takes. The queen comes across. Knight over. I just didn't see the move. It wasn't on the radar. Queen to b2, but rook c. I didn't see any of that whatsoever. Not to worry. This is where I've blundered. It's my only blunder of the game actually here. Taking the bishop on g3. I should have taken the knight instead of the bishop. And it's gone from plus 1.9 to basically level 0.2. So I should have just taken the knight there, created that imbalance, and then, oh, presumably I could lock down with a rook here, and then there's no knight to challenge my rook, and I can just take my time and quadruple attack the pawn, and there's only 3 pieces in reality to defend it then. Yeah, I can see it now. Oh, well, that was my only blunder of the game, so that's not bad. We grab the pawn. Should have played rook e8 there. Okay, I don't see a follow-up with that offhand, but that's what I should have done. Should have traded queens there. So we've got the triple stack, and now I've gone for this gamble. And I should have moved my queen here. So I shouldn't have actually taken rook. I should have moved my queen. But again, offhand, I don't see the dangerous attack. But that's what we should have done. But this is still, it's plus 1.6 for us. Queen here was the correct move, and I guess we just have to go here and guard, and that's it. We're a bit stuck. So that was actually a blunder, allowing us to get behind. So you've now gone defensive with white. Kick the queen back. It's still 4.2 for us here. So here I'm supposed to go forward. So h4 was a mistake. Just rook to c1 is what I should have played. And king h2, then rook to b8. Wait, what? Oh, I've gone a little bit wrong there, haven't I? Yeah, I went a little bit wrong there, just trying to assess the eval. King h2, rook to b8, f4. Eventually the queen's going to move and you're going to march forward. That's the engine line there. So, again, I didn't see any of that. Oops, so we're here. And I've given my opponent a chance to just blunder there. It's the only reason I pushed that pawn. As you could see, he has to take with a king, otherwise he leaves this. And it's 3.1 still, so we're still better. But I'm assuming maybe in the longer run, you try and march your king somewhat like this and protect your pawn, and then eventually push it on. Might be wrong, it might be wrong. It might have been one of them, it's a technical win in engine speak, but it's difficult in human speak. But we just got a little bit of luck at the end, so very good.